Hey everyone, in this video we're gonna start making our first project on CrochetPARADE.org. We're gonna make a simple swatch of a few single crochets, so that's how we're gonna start, and crochet in rows, and then we're gonna move on to making a flower similar to what you see here on the right hand side. Okay, so here on the top, you're going to see any shortcuts I'm using. They'll show up. Like, for example, if I press Ctrl Alt, or if I press R to start the rotation. You may find this useful if you want to reproduce what the keyboard shortcuts I'm using. If you need help, here's the list of all the keyboard shortcuts available on the website, and here is the manual, which will describe in details the Crochet Parade language that I'll be using as I'm crocheting along. Okay, let's start with a blank slate. Okay, and we're gonna start with a chain. Let's say it's 10 chains long, so I'm gonna write 10 and then chains, and here they are. Let's zoom in a little bit. You can see each one of these balls corresponds to one of the V's of the chain. And if you count them, there are 10 of them. So right now it's a little bit of a thin line, so let me press Ctrl plus or Ctrl and equal sign, and you can see them getting thicker. Again, the blue line, as you saw in the introductory video, the blue line shows you the direction in which one is crocheting. So this is the first stitch here, and then the second stitch, and then the third stitch, and then the fourth stitch, and so on. Here you can see information about the stitches. So this is row 0, that's the base, the starting chain, and the stitch count starts from 0. So this, even though it says 3, it's really stitch number 4, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so after we're done with the chains, let's turn the project. Okay, and let's skip one stitch and maybe do a single crochet. So there it is. Let me zoom in again. Make these thicker. So this is the base chain. I'm going to hide the information box by pressing I. Here is the base chain that we started with. These are the 10 chains. Then we turn the project around. Oops. And we skipped the first chain right after the hook, and we did a single crochet. This is a single crochet stitch into the next chain. So as you can see, the single crochet is 1 unit wide, meaning if a chain is 1 unit long, a single crochet has the same width, and then it's pretty much as tall. So this is the red line, shows you how it's attached to the next chain. Let's do 2 single crochets. Here I'm changing this to 2 single crochets. Bam. This is 1 single crochet, and this is 2 single crochets. Here it is. You can see the type of stitch right here. So this is the first row after the chain, and this is stitch number 1, counting from 0. So it's 0, 1, so it's the second stitch. Let's do 3 of these single crochets. I just want to make sure everybody's comfortable with this. So here they are, 3. Now if I do 10 single crochets, clearly I'm gonna get an error because I have a total of 10 chains here. I skipped 1. If I try to do 10 single crochets, I'm gonna go beyond the edge of the project, and bam, ID not found is what the website says. So, but I can definitely do 9 single crochets, and there you are. Now we went all the way to the end of the project. All right, now I can turn the project again, and we can maybe skip 1 and do another 9 single crochets, and here we are. And then if we want, we can turn the project again and then skip 1 and do 9 single crochets. Okay, so do you guys see how there is a distortion added to the project? Okay, well, the distortion is because it's happening because instead of the project staying flat, because we didn't do a chain 1 in the beginning before we did the 9 single crochets. So usually what you want to do is, once you turn the project, you want to do a chain and then skip 1 chain and then 9 single crochets. So let me get rid of these lines here, and let's try it again. Alright, now the project looks better, looks flatter, at least for the first row. So here you can see the first 10 chains. Then we did one chain, we skipped the chain that was right next to the hook, and we single crocheted in the next chain, and we did 9 of those single crochets. And you can see the direction of crocheting here. So we went this way and then around. This is the last 9 single crochet here. And if you want to see the progression of the stitches, here they are, starting from the first one, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And I'm pressing letter A, you can see it here to show the next stitches. This is the next chain, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet all the way to the end. Alright, now we turn the project. I'm going to skip one, chain, and of course skip and chain, you can just you can always swap them when you're typing this because the order doesn't matter. Let's do another 9 single crochets. Okay, so again, in terms of order, here it is. This is the first chain. We skipped this single crochet right here. Let me hide this information box, and then we single crochet in the next one, and so on. Okay, this now looks reasonable. Let's turn the project again, skip, chain. This time let's do 9 double crochets and turn the project. Okay, well, as you can see, there is now a distortion here at the end. Well, the reason is a single chain is not as tall, it doesn't give us enough height to bring the project to the 2 double crochet height. You can see these double crochet stitches here are taller than the single crochet stitches, so we may want to do 2 chains instead. Okay, now it looks better. Now, how tall is a double crochet stitch? Well, there is a default in CrochetPARADE of how tall double crochet stitch is, which you can always change. Let me just quickly show you. If I click on Help and Crochet Project Info, there is all kinds of information summarized here. So, for example, on the first row or row 0, there are 10 chains. Row 1 has 1 chain and 9 single crochets, and there is 1 skip that happened. Row 2, row 3. This tells you how big the project is. Don't worry about it as for now. This tells you on average how much different types of stitches are stretched in the vertical directions. So, for example, chains here are roughly shortened by 4% in order to fit in the model. Single crochet stitches by 2% and double crochet stitches by 8%. I would say anything within 10 or 15% here in terms of stretches don't matter, so don't worry about it. Actually, in fact, don't worry about this at all for now. Anyway, so double crochet. These are the row definitions of the different stitches. It may look a little bit overwhelming, but there is logic behind all of this. You can read about row crochet definitions in the manual. But what I want to highlight is this: a single crochet has a length. Is 1 unit tall, as much as a chain. This is a chain, as a chain is wide. A double crochet here is defined as 2 units tall. Now, if you're doing depending on how tight you pull the yarn, you can change how tall your double crochet is. I'm just going to copy this definition here, and let's see. And I'm going to change the height of the double crochet by writing definition, paste the double crochet definition, and I'm just going to change it to 3 units tall. And you can see now the double crochet is taller, and again it's pulling here on the yarn. So again, depending on how tall you make your double crochet, you may need to add 3 chains here. Now, are you happy with this randomness? Well, really depends on how, again, if you've crocheted for a while, you would know that you always start with your crocheting project with a swatch, where you test whether you get the right number of counts within stitch counts within some length, let's say 4 inches or 10 centimeters or something. So in a way, this is how you can change your swatch, the stitch count in each of your swatches. So I'm gonna get rid of this definition here, because I just want to use the defaults. So there it is. Now, can you do something else? Sure. Let's again skip one stitch here. Maybe do 2 chains. And then what I want to do is I want to do a double crochet, and then I want to chain 3. So here it is. Here's a double crochet, and as you can see, the chain 3 is sort of on the loose here because I don't attach it anywhere. Maybe I want to double crochet it in the next stitch. Boom. Well, as you can see, I literally crocheted it in the next stitch right after the first double crochet. So CrochetPARADE keeps track of the last stitch that was attached. So anytime you have a stitch that attaches to the previous row or anywhere else, it just increases the attachment point if you want, or shifts the attachment point by 1 stitch. So now if you want to attach, which is very similar to how normal crochet instructions work. If you want to attach this stitch to, let's say, to this location here, you need to skip 2 of these stitches. So I'm going to do 2 skips, so skip 2 stitches. And now it looks more reasonable, all right? Now if you wanted to skip 3 stitches, because we have 1, 2, 3 chains here, you might want to skip 3. And there you are. Now you can see that this line here of stitches is not keeping straight. CrochetPARADE uses GraphViz as a computational engine, which tends to sort of inflate, if you want, the fabric. That's the GraphViz is software for making graphs, as in graph theory. And again, it sort of tries to blow up the fabric a little bit. So that's why there is a little bit of tension here in these stitches, pushing them outwards. You should just be aware of that as you're making your projects. All right, well, what if I want to repeat this? What if I want to do, okay, 3 chains, oops, 3 chains, 3 skips, and then another double crochet. There we are. Now, if you have a pattern that keeps repeating like this, you might want to say, well, I want to repeat this pattern twice by putting the stitches you're repeating in parentheses or brackets. It doesn't matter what you use. You can use normal parentheses or curly brackets or square brackets, and multiply by 2. And I forgot to do a double crochet in the end. There it is. Okay, so here it is, double crochet, 3 chains, 3 skips, and then double crochet, 3 chain, 3 skips, and then double crochet again. And this is what we get. Okay, what if I wanted to repeat this line a few times? Well, this is what I would do. I would put parentheses around the line and multiply by, let's say, 3. Now, if I press Enter, I'm going to get an error because CrochetPARADE doesn't realize that you want to go on to the next row. So how do you make CrochetPARADE go on to the next row? First of all, make sure we turn, and then I'm going to add a new line. The new line will be part of this row here. So the new line will be also copied and pasted 3 times by the code. So there it is. And now this is happening 3 times. Okay, so I'm going to do a 2-dimensional view of our 2-dimensional model. Here it is. This is what it looks like. It looks pretty ugly as it is, but usually with special stitches that involve multiple skips or some more complicated pattern, you want a bigger swatch in order to actually see the texture better if you're actually crocheting. And same thing here with this website. So I hope this helps you get started with crocheting with CrochetPARADE. Take care, everybody.